How's it hanging, YouTube? This is King of Feral Imps. Grab your ceremonial cloak because today I'm counting down the top 5 god cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! As far as rules and criteria go, it's pretty self-explanatory. Each entry on the list must be god cards. That's pretty much it. And you know, the god cards are pretty obvious. You know, they're big, beefy, and they come in threes just like starter Pokemon. This will also be current TCG only, so that means no Harakathy or Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere mode. Also, their ranking on the list is based off usefulness and badassery. Let's jump right in. Secret number 6 on the list is Loki. Honestly, the only reason that Loki gets any sort of honorable mentions on this list is because of Tom Hiddleston. Ladies, am I right? No? Oh, okay then. Time for the real list. Number 5 is the Wicked Avatar. Now, in case you don't exactly know the Wicked God cards, they're basically evil counterparts of the Egyptian gods. This one is the counterpart of the Winged Dragon of Ra, which many consider to be the worst god card. However, the Avatar has a pretty good effect, as it stuns your opponent for 2 turns after it's summoned, and is always the strongest monster on the field. And I believe this is the only card with the effect like this, but correct me if I'm wrong. Even though this card is just a giant ball, it's pretty neat and it can still do some work. And of course, there are always some good fun jokes to be made whenever you summon it. Well, that is, until the Fire Nation attacks. Number 4 is Haman, Lord of Striking Thunder. Now, Haman is one of the sacred beasts introduced during the GX era. All of the sacred beasts have some amazing designs and were nods to the original Egyptian gods, but stepped up their game as far as design goes. I mean, look at the amount of detail in this guy. He's some kind of freaky yellow or golden skeleton guy with giant ass wings. If you were to inject Skull Servant with Badass Serum, you would get Haman. It's also a freaking 4,000 monster that can easily be summoned. Yeah, it's still not too viable in powerful decks aside from Crystal Beast, which are boss by the way, but it still deserves a spot here at number 4. Number 3 is Odin, Father of Aesir. Now, the Nordics were never really the best deck, but they're still pretty good. And if your boss monster is a freaking bearded guy with an eye patch, well, you know you're doing something right. The Nordic gods are specifically interesting since they're the first set of god cards to deviate from a relatively similar design. Viking gods are a breath of fresh air after having recycled dragon, demon, and whatever the winged dragon raw and his things are. I mean, we got a chicken, and then a skeleton, and then a ball. They're all brothers. Don't question it. I'll tell you when you're older. Anyway, back to Odin. Odin benefits greatly from having an entire archetype to help easily synchro summon him. And being a synchro monster itself is also very beneficial, being able to sit in the extra deck until you draw and summon what you need to bring him out. The effect is pretty nice and powerful as well, being able to protect himself and then come back later should he be destroyed. Number 2 is Obelisk the Tormentor. Odds are, if you had a blue card with no clear effect, you were the coolest kid on the playground, even if it was a fake card from the swap meet. Thanks, Mom. Best Christmas ever! Obelisk is actually one of the strongest of the god cards, being a solid 4,000, having immunity from targeting effects and a summon that can't be negated. He's close to unstoppable. Even though you need to attribute 3 monsters as per usual, it's well worth it, which is why Obelisk frogs were so effective and still are to this day, in some degree. Just get out 3 little monsters, tribute them all for the Tormentor, and you're as unstoppable as Kaiba himself. Screw the rules, I have green hair. Now, number 1 on this list today is Slifer the Sky Dragon. While Obelisk is the strongest all around, Slifer just has something Obelisk doesn't. Yeah, Yugi, or Yami, you know, whatever Lightning Bolt Head wants to be called. Slifer just has more star power, belonging to the protagonist and having a nice bright red and easily identifiable character design. Slifer also just has some straight power overall. His attack is based on the amount of cards in your hand, and usually this would be difficult to get a decent amount of attack, but it can definitely be done, especially in the Agents build. Agent Slifer 007. No? Oh, okay. Anyway, this has been it for this top 5 list. If you enjoyed the content, you know, remember to subscribe. Also, remember to leave a like to show your support, and let me know your favorite god cards in the comments below. Of course, this was just kind of my opinion, but I tried to rationalize it best I could, and of course it is only just fake Yu-Gi-Oh! God cards. If this were any real competition, we know who would win. Anyway, this has been King of Feral Imps. Have a nice day.